Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So today we are gonna play together with some new makeup, new releases, and maybe some less new releases, but they are new to me products. So I hope you're gonna enjoy it. Let's start. Okay, so let's have fun with the new makeup. So first, I want to say I already moisturize or prep my skin with the MAC Studio Radiance. Uh, uh, this is a moisturizer, and it says illuminating silky primer, but it's not illuminating. It's just a nice primer, but with that keeps the finish of your skin as it is. It doesn't glow it, and the finish is not tacky like some gripping primer. I wanted to use something that it will keep my skin as it is, but moisturize. The reason why is because the foundation we're gonna use today is the Terracotta Joli Teint. This is new. I used it once, and I should say that I felt in love with it. First, I thought it was something really light coverage, but it actually does give, like on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 would 10 being the most coverage. This I would give it a 4.5. So that's what we're gonna use as the foundation today. We are gonna take some, and I want to say what I want to mention about this. I'm just gonna put on my fingers like the quantity I would use normally. um, you can find it on Sephora Canada site, but mine I bought it on the Shoppers Drug Mart site, and for a reason I don't know, maybe on the Shoppers Drug Mart or Pharmaprix, the shades are not the same, are not labeled the same. I took mine in the shade 05 Pearl, but on the Sephora site they don't have 05, it starts with 10. So I believe this lightest shades is only available at the Shoppers Drug Mart. The other thing I want to say about this product is the smell is really, really good. Apparently, it's the smell of the Terracotta perfume from Guerlin. So, if this perfume is still available, I think I'm gonna purchase it. It smells summer. It smells beach, but with a little bit of flower, like fresh flowers, like I cannot smell. I cannot tell which flowers, but it does smell really good. And the smell is not annoying because it's gonna disappear after when it's dry. So this is applied. I'm gonna go with a little bit more coverage on my under eyes and on my nose and on my patches. I did apply a little bit under my eyes of this foundation. Actually, they say it's a soin teinté perfecteur de teint, protecting tinted moisturizer, healthy rosy glow. But I would say it's more, covers more than just a tinted moisturizer, in my opinion. I will hydrate my under eye with the Dalba double serum. This is a discovery from another YouTuber. I will just take it with my finger and I'm gonna go and apply it under my eyes. I feel that it does help my concealer to not crease. I am also putting it here. So we're gonna let it sit a little bit, and while it's melting with the warmth of my skin, we are gonna go with my concealer of choice from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Airbrush Flawless Blur Concealer. A lot of people said for this concealer that it's drying. But in my opinion, I was really afraid because I have a lot of lines under my eyes, but I don't see any more lines when I apply it. Maybe because of the Dalba balm. So this I didn't try without the balm. So maybe it's gonna crease. But this one is a really full coverage. I have mine in shade 4, and what I use mine for is to cover my spots that I have on my cheek. So I'm just gonna put some dot around, and we're gonna, I don't know if I want to use my finger. Maybe I'm gonna use a concealer brush. Yeah, I have this concealer brush. It's a brand, affordable brand that I took from Amazon. It's called Teoyal. They sell it in a kit, and because I use it a lot, so I bought a bunch of them. I don't have a preferred concealer brush to apply makeup on this part of my face, because I just want to cover. Under my eyes, I am more picky about the brush I'm gonna use. I'm just gonna put a little bit on my nose also because it's a little bit red. I just got out from the shower, so that's why. We're gonna put a little bit more just on the tip of the nose. Here, maybe here. Voila. I'm gonna use another concealer from under my eyes. I'm gonna set. Mostly disappeared. Good. Under my eyes, that the concealer I will use is the MAC Studio Radiance 24 hours. I find it difficult to find a shade for me that works. This one is in the shade NW10, which has a little bit of cool undertone. I kind of find this a little bit messy because it goes all on this part, and I have to clean it often. So what I do is I just go take a little bit. I'm not gonna use the duffel. I'm just gonna pick some here, and I'm just gonna dot some under my eyes. I'm gonna put it back. I'm gonna use my finger. I go a little bit here. I just take what I have left to my other eyes, and I need to put another dot in the other eyes. Let me just take it. This I got at during the last Sephora sale. I also ordered another shade, but finally I returned it because I thought NW11 was 10 was too light, but at the end the other shade was available was 13, and it was too dark and too peachy. So I'm gonna keep this shade. I kept this shade. Just gonna make sure it's all well. Perfect. Okay, we're gonna powder I'm gonna powder my under eyes and my nose with powder from Dior. It's the Dior Forever Nude Radiant Filter. I need something a little bit luminous under my eyes, and I found this one was not too much luminous, was just the right luminosity. So that's what I'm gonna use. Okay, I went to take the brush. I took the Morphe from Ariel collection. It's the number A14. So I'm just gonna take a little bit, and I'm gonna apply it under my eyes and on my nose. Voila. This is really nice powder. I hope it's not become a hard pan, because I had this problem with the Dior powders before. So let's hope it's not gonna do hard pan. We are gonna use a bronzer. I will use the Westman Atelier Skin Tone Bronzing Cream Duo. I have mine in the shade, the lightest shade, which is Soleil Parfait. I find this bronzer is really pinkish color, which I really really enjoy for my undertone. So we're gonna start with the lightest shades, and I'm gonna enhance with the darker shade. But I also want to use a cream blush, and it's another shade of pink. So all three together, I think they will work fine. So I'm gonna use an elf double-ended brush, elf complexion dual brush, and we're gonna pick some of the first shade. I like to start here. I'm gonna use it also to contour my face. I don't really contour my face. I just want to define it and not look like a ghost. I remember when I was young, my skin was so pale that I could fake being sick. I could go see my teacher and say, I don't feel good. And he said, oh yes, you're pale, so you can go home. That's it reminds me that time when I use bronzer, so I can give some life to my face. Let's put some here more. And I see that it doesn't take the foundation on my brush. Sometimes, yes, always some of the foundation will go on my brush, but I see sometimes it picks more. So I think it works well together. I'm gonna take the darker shade and I'm gonna just enhance a little bit. If you have a hard time to fill the gap here with your brush and you don't want to go too much in your hair, if you wash your hair right away and you don't want to, I just go lightly with my finger and I just kind of randomly go in there, so it's gonna fade the line. So that's something you can do if you have this problem. So I think we are gonna be fine with the bronzer. Maybe we can put a little bit more. I'll just go with the darker shade. I don't want to put here. It's more like in here. I have a spot that always difficult to cover for a reason. Well, perfect. That's fine. Okay, so now we're gonna give some colors to the cheeks. We're gonna use the Macaron Blush Glow Duo from Tarte. And I have this one in the shade Strawberry. Also from a recommendation from another YouTuber. We are gonna use this, the cream. Okay, so the cream, I have a Zoeva Rose Golden Collection brush with double length of the bristle. So we're gonna pick a little bit. And I like to applying my blush and go a little bit on the side, go up here. That's the tendency for the trends for the blush in these days. I'm gonna put here too. And I will also go on the side of my eyes a little bit more. Yes, I'll just put some here. You know the rules when you apply And how can I explain it? Um, I am a painter. I used to be owner of a painting studio for 15 years, and I was an art restorer in Florence, in Italy. And with the light and the colors, we learned that one color will reflect on other object on the scene. So what I like to do, I like to apply the same rules so you don't see one color here, one color here. So that's why I like to take some of the color and put it in another place. So I can put it a little bit here. I could also go on the bronzer, so some of the shade of the same color of the blush will go, and it's more harmonious to all the face. So because I feel that like this bronzer, it's maybe the lightest shade was pink, but the darker shade was a little bit more brown. So just and it gives a little bit of sun effect on my skin tone. When I get sun, it's pink. And just here on the nose. So I have it at the three place and it's more harmonious. I'm gonna wait for we're gonna use the other side of the blush because it's a little bit luminous. I think I want this to use it as a blush topper, but I'm gonna do it at the end. We are gonna powder the face. I'm gonna use because I really want to keep the finish of the foundation the way it is, so I'm using a powder that for me is it keeps the same finish. It doesn't mattify my skin or give more luminosity. It's the Laura Mercier translucent loose setting powder, and I have mine in the shade Rose. And I just discovered this powder. It's not new, but for me it's new. And I just found that this powder is really, it keeps the skin as it is. So I'm using my old and Holy Grail powder brush from Flower Beauty. So I'm gonna powder it. Just applying like this. I breathe a little bit. Okay. I think it's fine. Okay, now we are gonna go to the eyes. I'm gonna prep my eyes with my Holy Grail MAC Paint Relief. We're gonna just put a little bit and leave it there to set before putting the powder shadows. Did you have some plans for summer? Are you going in vacation somewhere? I am planning to go in September in Italy, and maybe if I have time, if I get a third week of vacation, I'm planning to go back to Turkey. So I wish my boss will let me go. Okay, we're gonna do the brows now. I want to show you something. Just I have to find it. I'm sorry, it was just there. I got and the drugs at the drugstore, my drugstore. It's a new. It's not. I think it's new. It's from Maybelline. It's called Sculpting Sticks. And for a reason, I thought it was a brow pencil, because I don't know. It was written AZ taupe as the color, but actually it's eyeliner. But I use it on my brows and it works, so I thought that we'll use it for that purpose today. Because the tip is really like a brow pencil. So anyway, it's taupe, and it works. So we're gonna apply it on it's really creamy, by the way. So sometimes some pencils are so stiff to have the product to go in where you want that I feel it kind of remove some hair. So this is really, 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 really creamy. I'll start with the end first. Just get some more. So little strokes. And as always, I don't want to go too much in here. I have brows, so if I put too much product, I feel I kind of look angry. So that's okay, and that's the other reason why. But I finally, it's a brush for liner, but I kind of like it to spread the product on the skin. So that's the way I'm gonna use it today. Okay, for the eyes, Natasha Denona, this quad. Luxe Glam Compact in the shade Nude. I have them all three compact that she released with that, and today I think we're gonna use the Nude. We are gonna start with a Sephora number 19 brush for the crease. So I'm gonna go first with this lightest beige. Let's tap it. I like, because I have mature skin, I have a lot of not wrinkles, but you know, the skin is not firm, it moves a lot. So if I apply it like this, I think I find that it grabs on each lines or each fold of my skin. So what I like to do first is I just kind of start from the other end and dab it first, and then I'm gonna swipe so it's not gonna grab into these lines. Voila. I'm gonna enhance the other part with, I'm gonna use the same brush, this brown. So I'll just go dip on the tip of my brush, and I do the same thing. I'm just gonna dab first and wipe. Just the tip, dab first, and then wipe. Voila. And the two shades, I'm gonna take my no, I have a brush I wanna use. 14 from Sephora. I'm gonna start with the darker shade. I don't want to, because Natasha Denona have a lot of fallouts usually. So I'm gonna start from the end, dab, and swipe. I do the same thing on the lid. A little bit, dab, swipe. I'm gonna go quite inside because the other shade is quite pale, so I want both shades to kind of mix together in the middle of the lid. I'm just gonna use the same brush but the other side for the light. We're gonna start first and see if I need to use my finger. That's fine. Voila. Nice. Okay, now we are gonna set everything. I'm gonna use my new Dior Backstage Air Flash Mist. I'm using this one now because, as I said first, this finish of my skin with this foundation, I want to keep the same finish on me, and I find that this spray, it does work that way. It doesn't make my skin more glowy. It's gonna still melt my powder with everything. um, so I want to use this one. I want also to compare to the Charlotte Tilbury, because I feel the finish is the same. It's gonna keep the same finish. It's not gonna be more glowy. But this one, the Charlotte Tilbury, will maybe keep your makeup intact for a longer period of time, as opposed to the Dior. But the Dior, I find that melts more all together, and you can use it also to refresh your skin during the day. So we're gonna do a pause. I'm gonna spray my face and use my Sicilian fan to dry it. Okay, I wanted to mention something about the spray. It does have a little bit of a fragrance, the signature fragrance from Dior. But as soon as it's dried out on the skin, it disappears. So if you just wanted to mention that. Now we're gonna use the mascara. I like to apply the mascara after I spray my face. Otherwise, sometimes the spray can affect or re-wet your mascara. I wanted to use something different than black and brown today, so we're gonna use the Lash Sensational Eye Sky from Maybelline. I think the shade name is Burgundy. I'm not quite sure. I'm gonna write it down because it's too small. I cannot read it here. So I already put some on my first eye. We're gonna go to the other eyes. One thing I want to mention is this pulley is really pliable, and sometimes I kind of find it difficult to apply it. It kind of just glides and doesn't grip into my lashes, especially when the mascara starts to dry out a little bit. But this one is new, so I don't have this problem. Voila. Now for the lip. I'm gonna use this Kosas, it's called Kosas Hot Liner lip pencil. I got it in Sephora bag with different product in it that was half prices during the Sephora sale. This is in the shade Nude 100. So I just want to outline my lips, and I want it to be sheer and natural because the lip I'm going to use today, the lipstick, is it's not a full coverage lipstick. So we're going to just outline to give some definition. It's nice. And for the lipsticks, I want to show you three different, it's all from the same brand, Westman Atelier. It's the balm. It's called Hydro Balm Tinted Lipstick. And it's really, really creamy and really sheer. And you can build it if you want. So I know some of the tints I've picked I have three shades actually. And the three shades are pretty much scaring intense as a color from the palette, but you can share it on the lip. So I took my first, oh, it's magnetic. So I just wanted to say, if you get more than one and you get two of them close, they're gonna repel. They don't like each other. My first, and the cap goes stick on it. Let's start with the lightest shade I have. It's Nectar, and this shade gives you just your natural lip, but with a sheer finish on a sheer, not sparkly, but balmy, luminous finish. So that's Nectar. And we're gonna use the two other shades as well. I'm just gonna clean this one. Okay, and the second color I have, it's called Brick. I wanted to get Ballerine, but it's out of stock. So as soon as it's gonna be in stock, I'm gonna get it. So Brick. Sheer application. And I find this gives me the same look and same feel as the Clinique Black Honey lipstick lip balm, and pretty much the same color. It does have a little bit of not minty, it doesn't have any taste, but I feel it's kind of fresh on the lip. It's not tingling, it's just fresh. So this is Brick, and if I take more, voila. I clean my lip again, and the last shade we're gonna use is the shade, no, Nectar we used. It's the color Bob. It's a kind of a reddish brown color. I'm gonna go first sheer. I feel it's like my skin color, but just a little bit darker. It doesn't give any reddish color. And if I apply a little bit more, voila. This is a little bit more sheer, I find, than the other color I have is Brick. Brick is a little bit more intense. So that's the 3 balm from Westman Atelier, and it's, I can say, it does really hydrate the lips for a long time. Okay, I kept the darker shade on the lip, the last one I applied, but I just put back the liner around, but the liner is nude, so it just helped to define, but doesn't change really the color. Now the last thing I wanted to do, it was to just enhance or kind of put some luminosity over on top of my blush. I'm gonna use the same duo blush from Tarte, the Macaron, and I'm gonna pick some of the powder side blush. I'm just gonna get some on my hand just to make sure it's not too much, and I just want to illuminate the top. It's not sparkly. I have a shade that a peachy shade that I returned during the sale because it was too glittery. So voila. So that's the look for today. I hope you enjoyed it. So let's recap the products of what I used. Okay, so I'm just gonna mention my top 3 from all these products I used today. My number 1 favorite is, I think you know, it's the foundation from Guerlin. This is my first. My second best, it's gonna be the Westman Atelier Balms. I feel that it keep my lips hydrated for a long period of time, and you know I have the fair skin, and when I want to enhance more maybe my eyes, I don't want to put in face my lips. It's one or the other. So I found those really versatile because you can build the intensity. You can go sheer or you can put more if you want. So that's my number 2. And my number 3 would be surprising, but maybe not. It's the Dior powder. I find it really difficult for me to find a powder that will have just a little bit of luminosity to go under my eyes and doesn't inphase too much my crease. So that's my top 3 for this round. So I hope you enjoyed it. You're gonna see all the products info in the description, and I invite you to subscribe to my channel and comment if you want. So take care of you. Bye bye.